Hi, Richard Brook here of creativewellness.co.uk. So I'm going to speak to you today about fatigue. So quite often in my life I've experienced pockets of fatigue. So a situation, where I felt very debilitated, and it usually happens, well, there's two different mechanisms that kind of go on really. So sometimes it happens when the external stress factors have been coming in a bit more quickly than what I can process. Or sometimes it's when I've been missing out on my amplified relaxation techniques that help me to balance the external stressor. So we all get a bit of stress from time to time. And sometimes it's maybe like, you get a little jab to the face, a bit of stress comes in, you go away, you sit yourself down, you take a couple of days and your body recovers. The emotional shock sometimes of things, it tightens us up, we go away somewhere or we have a little bit of space and things come back to normal. The problem we get is sometimes when we get a flurry of stressful events, so it's like maybe like a barrage of punches of things hitting you, different stress factors one on top of another, and so it becomes cumulative and you haven't had the time and space to allow your body and your emotions to recover, or the relaxation techniques you've got in place aren't strong enough to give you that balance. Because there's always two things there. There's the external stressor, and then there's how much relaxation you've got built into your life to balance it. So I often say, that when you've got amplified stress in your life, you need a lot of amplified relaxation techniques to balance it. What I want you to work with the idea, is that tension actually consumes energy. So if you think for a moment, if someone said to you, right, I want you to walk around for the next 10 minutes, clenching your fist and clenching your arm and keeping it tight, you would soon start to feel really tired. You wouldn't like it. So just think about when you get all these stress factors in your life, how sometimes your entire body contracts into that state of tension, and think how much energy that takes up. So quite often we get in this state where we kind of feel that or we get in this mindset that we think that stress and tension only affects the exterior of the body. So maybe we think, we can feel a little bit tense in our ligaments and tendons, a bit tight in the jaw, maybe a bit tight around the abdomen, whatever it is. Ooh, got flies going on today. But actually it also affects your internal organs, does stress. And so just think for a moment then, if you're walking around carrying massive amounts of stress, how much of your energy is getting consumed on that? And in that kind of circumstance, it's not going to matter whether you're going out and buying the latest superfoods, how much going out to the gym and pounding it out in the gym a little bit more, because there's something inherently that's become stuck and tightened within your body. So essentially your energy's not flowing anymore. So the problem then becomes an internal one. So even if originally it was the external stress factor, it then becomes an internal stressor, an internal picture of tension, which can sometimes carry on for a long time after the external stimulus has actually subsided. When we're looking at conditions like, we get a more chronic kind of fatigue state, if you like, where people then maybe can't understand why you appear to have a dearth of energy when the circumstances around you aren't that bad. It's because, the body's recoiled into this state of almost like shock, and it's become a little bit blocked up, and it takes a little bit more therapeutic work for it to recover its trust and come back to the exterior. Okay, so two things to look at in these circumstances. One, are you managing your external stress factors? So are you looking at the stress? Because we don't want to really just, have one incidence of stress and then, they say throw the baby out with the bathwater. We get a bit of tension in our lives and we shut loads of things down. We don't want to do that. But if you're consistently getting hit from the exterior with stress factors that you're unable to recover from, you need to look at what's going on out there. But the other thing is whether your amplified relaxation techniques you've got in your life, are they strong enough to allow you to recover? So I often say this in some of my yoga work. There's a big difference between the amplified relaxation that a yoga class or meditation class can take you into, and what sitting down in front of the TV with a glass of red wine and a packet of crisps will do. The kind of relaxation that you get from a yoga class, especially from a yin, soft type of yoga, and maybe some other types of yoga sometimes, is a much more deep one that's much more acting on the nervous system. Whereas you're sitting in front of the TV, packet of crisps, chocolate bar, whatever, you're kind of just trancing out a little bit there and trying to disengage from it. But you'll get much more relaxation efficacy, from doing more amplified relaxation techniques. So there you go. Go away and have a think about that. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.